What is up, my friends? Welcome to another video here on CoolStuffInc.com. It's Monday. It's time for some magic. And this may be my second time recording this video because we had a little bit of a mishap with an incorrect button press the first time.
Streaming.
I'm streaming?
You are not recording, you're streaming.
That's hilarious.
What?
That's so funny.
Yeah, I know.
So everyone's watching.
What's going on? I'm like, why does he have the magic stuff on? And it's not his stream setup, that's his video setup.
So you're saying everyone's laughing at me right now, and I have no idea.
There's hundreds of people on the internet laughing at you as you speak.
Wow, that's brutally embarrassing.
Did you actually know that you were streaming or no?
I had no idea, obviously.
Really? Okay.
Not a clue.
Not crazy. Well, everybody got a sneak peek at the video you'll be recording this week.
Yeah. All right. Well, consider this a trailer. We're like Marvel movies, you know, where we're putting the post credit scene. This is the post credit scene for my cool stuff video. Yeah, you see, so the stream button and the record button look very similar, unfortunately. So bit of a false start, but that's okay. We're back and we're playing a really sweet deck. This is a deck I brewed up on stream a little while back. I've been playing it a little bit, and it's a pretty exciting snow deck. Now, snow is not exactly the thing we've all been noticing most out of Modern Horizons. Of course, the Hogak Menace has been stamping around, stomping everything out, but snow is back, and while not exactly the most beloved mechanic of all time, they certainly gave it some pretty powerful cards in Modern Horizons. Let's go through those real fast. It's funny how the most powerful one is the most innocuous. Arkham's Astrolabe is seeing play in literally every format, and this card is really, really good. A lot of artifacts that cost 2 mana and cantrip and do much worse things have been playable in a variety of decks, typically artifact decks, because the velocity you get from playing a permanent that's the type you want, that also draws a card, has a minor effect, is great. Well, we've chopped that mana cost in half. So for 1 mana, we get a snow permanent, an artifact, mana fixing, and a card draw. 1 mana cantrip does basically everything. This card is so good on rate. Of course, the downside is that you have to cast it with snow mana. Not really a problem when we have all snow lands in our deck. So Astrolabe makes our mana work, pumps up all of our permanents. Just phenomenal card. We have Ice Fang Coddle, which is a 1/1 flying flash. Comes into play, draws a card, and also has Death Touch. If you have 3 or more snow permanents, obviously a very easy thing to do in this deck, making this a almost strictly better Baleful Strix. Very powerful card, great on defense, good to chip away at fair decks. Very, very powerful card. We have Abominable Treefolk. That's right, not just for limited. This is a pretty serious finisher. I know this card looks a little silly in a modern deck, but this is routinely a 7/7 or an 8/8. Doesn't die to lightning bolts. It's not easy to kill with Fatal Push. Taps down a creature, buys some time. It's a really powerful card, honestly. I know Hogak is a free 8/8 trample. We're only playing, maybe a 7/7 trample for 4 mana instead of free, but very surprising card, very powerful. Great addition. We have Mar-Laj's Slumber, and this is a pretty cool one. Whenever any snow permanent comes into play, you scry, which is very powerful as far as drawing into the mid game, making sure you draw gas. And of course, if you have 10 or more permanents, you just get a Dark Depths 2020 Avatar token, which is also quite good. Not amazing in some decks for playing Path to Exile or Teferi, things like that, but very, very powerful effect to have access to, and a pretty good top. And we have Dead of Winter, not specifically a snow card, but a sorcery that says all non-snow creatures get -X/-X until end of turn. Rex is the number of snow permanents you control. This is a one-sided Wrath of God. This card is really, really good against creature decks. And we also have On Thin Ice, basically the Chain to the Rocks for snow permanents. And again, this is a Path to Exile, but it's also a snow permanent because our deck cares about having lots of snow permanents. And these new snow cards mesh together with a few old snow cards to make a pretty powerful collection of cards here. Oran Viper, 1/3 with pseudo Death Touch. Whenever it deals damage to a player, you draw a card. That's pretty good. Pretty solid Ophidian variant. Also very good on defense with its Death Touch ability. A couple Boreal Druids. Noble Hierarch is better, but Boreal Druid's still a nice little mana accelerant, and of course Snow permanent. And then most importantly, we have Scrying Sheets, one of the few actual payoffs for playing Snow before this set came out. And it's a colorless land, snow land, of course. Tap 2 mana, one of which is Snow, and look at your top card. It's a Snow card, draw it. So we have 34 Snow cards in our deck. Excuse me, sorry. 34 Snow cards in our deck, meaning this over half the time this is tap 2, draw a card, which is really, really powerful. We also have the Scry ability on Merit Elijah's Slumber to help set that up as well. So we're adding that into a few of the more powerful fair cards in the format. Force Negation helps us out against the unfair decks. Obviously, we are a fundamentally fair deck, so Force Negation is here to help and pitch extra copies of Abdominal Tree Folk or Spreading Seas that we don't need. Spreading Seas, obviously very good against Tron, and just a good card to have against fair matchups. You kind of screw their mana up. It's a blue card for Force. And just cantrips to draw more cards, so you're drawing more Snow permanents. And then Teferi Time Raveler is just really, really, really good. This card has just been phenomenal in every deck I've played it in, and we are using it to slow our opponent down, to bounce our opponent's things, draw cards, get tempo, etc., etc. But also plays really, really well with Arkham's Astrolabe, as you can minus on the Astrolabe, draw a card, recast the Astrolabe, draw a card. Turns Teferi's -3 into draw 2 cards instead of draw 1 card, and that's pretty good. So, sideboard, of course, we are playing 4 colors, so we have access to a lot of really good sideboard cards. For Rest in Peace, Hogak is still legal. Won't be for long, but it still is, so Rest in Peace is a necessity. Probably only play like 2 if Hogak wasn't legal, but gotta go the full Monty, of course. 2 Stony Silence against the artifact decks. Pretty nice that we don't really use artifacts or the graveyard, so we get to use all of the powerful white sideboard cards. And the gate complements our Force Negations. Dead of Winter against other creature decks. 3 copies of Geist of St. Traft against other fair decks. This deck can struggle against decks like Blue-White Control that are able to play Planeswalkers and Wrath up our board. We are fairly creature-based, and we don't have a great answer to Planeswalkers, and the Geist of St. Traft is one of the better options as far as beating fair decks, and we have 6 mana creatures, and fits in pretty much perfectly. 2 Knight of Autumn to deal with artifacts, enchantments, and gain a little life against burn, and 2 Damping Sphere for the Tron matchup. The deck is super sweet, super fun. All of our fetch lands. Make sure we have all snow lands. We only have 2 non-snow lands in the deck, and deck sweet. Let's battle. All right, we're here with our first match, and our hand is pretty good. Hopefully they're playing creatures. This is a very good hand against a deck like humans or something. We have a Wrath of God, a Path to Exile, a Baleful Strix. They're not playing creatures. Things can get a little dicey, but we're obviously drawing a card up Ice Fang or the draw, so a lot of mulligans to 5 cards. City of Brass. No fair deck plays City of Brass, so not boding well for our hand currently. That was a really good draw, though. So, turn to Oran Viper, one of our best possible openings. Get to get the card draw flowing. Two City of Brass. Oh boy. Okay, so we're viping it up here. What are they up to? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. I've affectionately dubbed this deck "They Said Snow" for a funny YouTube video about how people in the Northeast react to snowstorms. You can go watch that one. It's a funny viral video. All right, we're going to fire in here. I gotta get the bread and milk. Just need to figure out what unfair strategy our opponent is playing. hopefully would like to draw Force Negation, something like that. I mean, we are drawing a lot of cards. The question here is, do I want to play the dual land or just play the snow land? I guess we play the dual land. Makes the potential tree folk a little bit smaller. Typically don't want to play the duels if you don't have to, but I don't think it really matters too much here. Alright, I mean, we are drawing a lot of cards. Unchecked Vipers are pretty nice. Okay, not the best. Not the best. Alright, I mean, I think we're just gonna keep right on rolling. We are Snake Tribal. We get to draw a card and search for Force Negation. If okay, this is kind of what I was feeling. Looks like it's probably the Griselbrand Neoform deck. Yeah. So we have one shot at a Force Negation. Alright, they have exiled 2 Chancellor of Tangles. And we are probably dead. Which is unfortunate, but let's see if we can get lucky here. We did say our hand was not very good against unfair strategies, and this is probably the most unfair strategy in the entire format. Force Negation. Come on. That's a forest. Yeah. Not a very good draw, all things considered. We've drawn like 6 extra cards this game, and none of them have been particularly relevant. So for those who don't know how my opponent's deck works, it uses the card Allosaurus Rider, which is a free pitch creature with a mana cost of 7. And then it plays it on turn 1, as early as. Then it plays Neoform, which is a Birthing Pod activation. You sacrifice a creature and get a creature that costs 1 more than it. So 7 up to 8. Play Griselbrand, draw a bunch of cards, and then use Nourishing Shoal to gain a bunch of life, draw your whole deck, and then you get to use Lab Maniac or Lightning Storm to kill your opponent. They've only have 1 draw 7 here because they are now at 7 life. They cannot draw 7 again. So they have no shoals in their top few cards here. We could actually be okay. Oh my god. So you're telling me there's a chance. And now we get to actually use our On Thin Ice. This is quite good for us. And now we should be in really good shape because now they have to recombo and they have to find a shoal before they can. All right, sweet. So yeah, the Neoform combo deck is extremely powerful when it works. It can kill on turn 1 fairly easily, but it is quite finicky. And as we saw there, our opponent didn't go off till turn 5, and then was only able to draw 7 cards and couldn't win. If we had dealt 1 less point of damage and they were able to draw 7 more cards, we might have lost. But we don't really have much for them. Force Negation is exceedingly good against them, but otherwise we don't really have much going on. It's definitely possible we want these Geist Saint drafts because they just kill reasonably fast. Spreading Seas is pretty bad. The problem is that a lot of our cards just aren't good. Rest in Peace, Stunning Silence, Damping Sphere, Spreading Seas, Dead of Winter. None of these cards do anything. I guess we're going to leave in 1 Spreading Seas. It is a blue card for force, I suppose. Go with the old legacy adage. But yeah, this seems fine. Definitely not a great matchup. But if we draw Force Negation, we should be okay. Looking for Force Negation and a Mana Accelerant to cast Viper or Geist on turn 2. Neoform deck is very, very close to being broken, but it's a little too inconsistent. The speed at which it operates is not fair. but it is so inconsistent it typically doesn't do well. Alright, this is really, really annoying. So we have our Force, we have our Mana Creature, just like we asked for, but we can't cast anything. If this hand had an Astrolabe, we'd be cool, but it does not. So, but a mulligan 6 also. Well, I suppose this works. We're going to keep... It's funny because, yeah, we're going to keep all the forces. We're going to ship the On Thin Ice. Because if we draw another blue card, double Force is pretty good. And we do have Scrying Sheets, so they're on 5 cards. Forcing their Neoform is just like a 10 for 1, or 10 for 2, I suppose. Because they have to waste 2 cards to put the Allosaurus Rider in play. Then cast the Neoform and lose the Allosaurus Riders. It's a 4 for 2. So, very hard to come back from. So, if we draw a blue card, alright, cool. So now we're just rolled up with double Force. It's pretty good. And while we are Threat Light, we can use Scrying Sheets if we have to, because we have so much defense. Alright, well, we're gonna win the game here on turn 2, because they're casting Summoner's Pact. They're going to exile a Shoal and a Big Worm. That's the 15 mana creature they use for Shoal. And again, Nourishing Shoals right here if you haven't seen it before. Exile a green card, gain X life. Alright, so they're going to scoop here because they can't pay for their pact and they lose. So, as I said, it's very similar to Charbelcher in Legacy, where you can do an insanely fast, busted thing, but you really fold to interaction. Force Negation is definitely a huge count against that deck in this format, because Force Negation is Force of Will, basically, and you saw how devastating that was. So, alright, round 2. Not a great hand, but we do have a Force. You can't cast a Fairy at present. This hand's pretty bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna mulligan. This hand's just not good enough. If we had, like, this was an island, I'd be a little more interested, or planes. But realistically, we're just, like, not doing much. We do have Force. We have no follow-up at all. Either card we pitch, the other one doesn't affect the board that I'm gonna mulligan. Okay, this hand's definitely better. We're gonna keep... I kind of think we just dump the Hallowed Fountain and rely on Astrolabe and Spreading Seas to draw us out of this. The non-snow lands are definitely much worse, and our mana is perfect with Astrolabe anyway, so... We have the Ulta Fairy Astrolabe combo to draw some cards, so... It's not often you hope your opponent's playing Tron, but... Alright, we asked for it. Definitely not a good matchup for us. I think that Eldrazi Tron's a fine matchup, but I think that Classic Tron is definitely not good. We have 2 Spreading Seas, though, so that's a start. Alright, they are Eldrazi Tron, which is much better for us. We have 8 Death Touch creatures in our deck. We have On Thin Ice. We have a lot of removal. It's pretty cool. I'm just gonna Spreading Seas. Cool. So perfect mana. Probably Viper next turn. We'll see what they do. Okay, they have Thought-Knots here. It's fine. We have... Ooh, they got Smasher or something? Okay. So... we can On Thin Ice here, and... Spreading Seas. The problem is that they get a Ghost Quarter, they can free up their Reality Smasher again, which kind of sucks. but it does require them to go down a land, and we're already taxing their mana a bit. They have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, Ghost Quarter is definitely quite good against On Thin Ice. I think I would like to. I mean, Viper does block Reality Smasher decently well. It takes a lot of their turn to Ghost Quarter. The 2 mana to map, a land drop. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go for the full. Yeah, make him do it. I mean, our On Thin Ice ain't getting much better, so let's Spreading Seas also. Ice Fang's great. So on Thin Ice, we're gonna enchant the forest, so they go Square Fish gonna get a new forest. I think drawing a land next turn would be nice. We can keep developing our board. The Death Touch creatures are phenomenal against Eldrazi Tron. They're obviously not very good against regular Tron, so hence the difference. Thought-Knot Seer, sure. Our hand's pretty good, so it's kind of hard to pick a hole in our hand. They take the Teferi? That's pretty interesting. I think that both my Death Touch creatures seem better than Teferi, but that's okay. I'm not going to complain. They have 2 cards left. Means they probably have like Dismember or something. Just start on the Astrolab. Treefolk's also exceedingly good against them. So we can Noble and Ice Fang here, or we can just get Viper set up. If they have a Dismember, then Viper's definitely worse. I think we still just Viper. I guess we're saying it for Treefolk. Next turn, getting Treefolk in play is really pretty good. We Viper. I guess worst case scenario is we Viper, and they Dismember, get a Ghost Quarter, hit our land, attack for 9. That's a pretty serious swing. But I guess if they have Dismember for Ice Fang anyway, it's a similar thing. And playing Noble doesn't really help our. Yeah, we're gonna play the Viper. We take a huge hit here. We take a huge hit. I mean, they didn't Dismember, so that's good. Natural Tron, as always. That's kind of gross. Our Treefolk is pretty good right now. Okay. I mean, we still get to attack with the Viper, draw cards, Ice Fang. Teferi Time Raveler. The thing is that bouncing Thought-Knot Seer isn't even really good. We could reset the Spreading Seas on a different land, but they can't draw next turn with the map. Maybe just Viper. If we draw a land, we can Teferi and Ice Fang. I mean, that's good against some stuff. Okay. Yeah, we gotta leave Ice Fang up, so we'll just play a Noble Hierarch here and say go. You know, it's hard cast Force if we're super desperate, but if they Tron us here into a big Walking Ballista, we're probably in trouble. But All is dust. Not on my watch. Do I wish to pitch here? If I pitch, then I can't Ice Fang. I'm sorry, but if I hard cast it, I can't Ice Fang. How good is Teferi right now? Teferi's pretty good. I don't know if I'm taking 8 is an okay thing to do. I'm just gonna pitch. We have card draw. We're drawing a card. We have scrying sheets. Just not take the damage and die. Oh no. Not Matter Shaper. Sure. How did they know about this? Come on. They know about this Ice Fang, don't they? Marit Lodge's Slumber, pretty good. Get to draw another card. Pretty good. Yeah, it's all pretty great. Let's get some scries on here. Slumber. Top card, Teferi Time Raveler. We can keep that one. Send in Viper here. Exalted being pretty good. My first build of this deck had 4 Boreal Druids and 2 Noble Hierarchs, but Noble Hierarchs just too good not to play. So Endbringer? I mean, Endbringer's not bad, but this is our 10th Snow Permanent. So Marit Lodge is about to wake up. So if they attack with Thought Knot, we're not going to block. Just get our old 2020 that they can't really deal with except with All is Dust. So they have a second All is Dust. What are you gonna do? I guess they can Endbringer the token over and over again. Okay. Matter Shapers for days. Oh, we have to Teferi too. Teferi just bounces this thing. That's definitely not blocking. They have Dismember? Wow. That's fortunate. Alright, so the Slumber's off for 1 turn. Okay. Draw a card. Misty Rainforest. So they have no cards in hand. I think we just don't attack. We're just giving them a free card, and we're pretty ahead on the board. We're at 7. We don't attack. We play Viper. We're at 6. They go. They play Endbringer. We get a 2020. We do just attack. They still have Endbringer still checks the 2020 at the moment, so I probably should have played a Land of Scry. They're gonna block, so top card is Ugin. That's not good. All right. Bottom is Snowland on the Scry. Play another Viper. We're a little low here. I'm not gonna lie. Ugin can kill on thin ice, or it can kill Marit Lodge's Slumber. Might have taken a little too much damage this game. Or they'll just drop Ballista and kill us. That's always cool too, I guess. I mean, I guess if we'd not attacked, they wouldn't have gotten one card deeper, but no, Smasher. Oh, they have Smasher and Ugin to get another Smasher. That's pretty frustrating. All right. Maybe we took too much damage this game. Maybe I could have played a little bit more defensively. It's kind of a frustrating game. We felt like we were in pretty good control of that game for most of it. It's not good. Not good. I mean, they did draw pretty well at the end there, but all right. So we're gonna bring in Dead of Winter and the Night of Autumns. I think we want Force Negation in this matchup. We can cut a few of our ones. I think the Boreal Druids can go because they're gonna have Chalice probably, and then we got to cut one more card. I think it's probably just Teferi. Teferi's not bad, but every other card seems better. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I think that the Thought Not Seer that took our Tree Folk probably won them the game because our clock wasn't fast enough. Tree Folk dominates the board against them. It would have been like a 9-9. I think that was probably where the game was lost. Okay. Not a great hand, but I think we're going to keep it. Scrying Sheets, Astrolab, good mana. Hardcasting Force, certainly not out of the question. Just going to get a Forest. Vista can get a Swamp or a Plain, so we're going to hold that for now. Once Astrolab is in play, we shouldn't really have any mana problems regardless, so... Okay. Force is basically for Chalice the Void, Karn the Great Creator, All is Dust, not countering a map. Alright. Well, they do have Tron again, which is pretty annoying, but... Alright, draw steps have not been kind. You want to hope with your cantrip, that things will even out, but now they have Tron. That's pretty gross. Alright. We'll see what Scrying Sheets has for us. Hopefully something good. Because this game has panned out pretty badly. Drawing land, Force Negation was not in our plans. Top card's a land. Okay, that's pretty crappy. Playing the Vista because I want to get Plains. So we get to Scrying Sheets and then shuffle away a bad card. That's a good start if they're cracking Mindstone. Means their hand is not made yet, which is good, even though they have Tron, so... Blast Zone? I mean, it's certainly annoying, but it's... they took my my on thin ice, so killing Astrolab is whatever. Chalice on 1. This is so awkward. Just like we have 2 on Thin Ice, 3 Astrolabs, and 4 Noble Hierarchs left. So, is this even good? Not really, but this is if I want to another wooden pitch force. If I want a hard cast force, then I can't scrying sheets. I think this is fine. I guess I'll scrying sheets first. Spreading Seas. Alright, I guess we do want to draw that, so we're not going to fetch. Alright, this is fun. Still make fetched. Of. Told you we were drawing 1-drops. Okay. Sand has certainly played out very poorly for us, but hopefully with them off Tron. No Reality Smasher. Obviously they have no, what is this? Thought Nuts here? Sure. This is fine. Our hand's basically worthless, so need to find ourselves one of our snakes, tree folk, just basically anything. Not another 1-drop, basically. Dead of Winter. Just a lot of cards you can draw here that are not Noble Hierarch. Unbelievable. Alright. I guess we're going to main phase spreading scrying sheets because we're running out of options. We have good enough mana we can do this. We can cast anything, yeah. Alright, top card. Wait. Screwed up. Alright. At least we're getting somewhere now. We'll get ourselves... This doesn't matter what we get. We're going to 9 here, so if they have any removal spell, we are probably dead. But this game has been one of the most awkward games we've played in a long time. And now our shields are down for force negation too, so yeah, obviously they have Dismember. Alright, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, this game has been pretty bad. Basically everything that could go wrong in this game has gone wrong. We've drawn land every turn and 2 1-drops after they cast Chalice on 1. Definitely think it was correct to not force it. These Noble Hierarchs wouldn't be super effective anyway. Alright, and we're dead. Alright, pretty frustrating match, not gonna lie. I don't think we screwed up in game 1, but it felt like we probably should have gotten it. And then this game was just a joke. So, 1-1. Despite the results of our last match, I do think the Eldrazi Tron match was pretty good. So, we can keep this. It's a little light. We have 2 cantrips, Noble Hierarch. We have most of the things we want here, so just find a little action. We're going to have basically a whole new hand next turn with our Lab and our Spreading Seas. We've got Scrying Sheets rolling. Birds of Paradise. Okay. That's a really good one. Very good draw. It's probably not necessary, but I guess makes us feel a little safer. That's also good. Alright, so unlike last game, this game we've drawn reasonably well out of our cantrips and our mediocre hand. Voice of Resurgence. You got it. Something pretty easy. We're pretty easy slam jam the tree folk here. And we are definitely going to target the Birds of Paradise. It's going to be at least a 6/6 next turn, which is pretty great. Taios Tracker, the best card ever printed? Wow. How rude of them to play that against us. Ice Fang, that's more power. We actually draw a card off Ice Fang first. We're going to Ice Fang because we want to just keep our make our Tree Folk having more power. So we're going to Ice Fang first. And there's definitely some cards we could draw we would play instead. I suppose the Dead of Night would be one of them. I think we can get a Plains here. It is Tracker, right? Yeah, it's gotta be Tracker. Oh boy, it's on. It is on. Instant Speed, Dead of Winter. Maybe. We'll see what they do here. They're going to fire in. It's a Fairy. I think blocking here is fine because we want to awaken the elemental so we can kill it with Dead of Winter. So this is fun. Keeps the Fairy alive too, which is pretty cool. So alright, so what costs 5? Interesting. Court of Calling for 2 main phase. Get Devoted Druid. Well, my friend, we've got basically everything here. Is there a reason for us to... we're going to Dead of Winter on their turn, I guess. They can't do things at instant speed, so it's not like if we let them untap, they're going to like Court of Calling instant speed combo or something. I think we just do that. We could also just on Thin Ice and be super safe. We can also hit the elemental too. I don't mind that actually. Also attacks some more damage too. Okay, so let's fetch a Snow Basic here. Although I guess we could just leave up Force Negation as well. So we have Dead of Winter and Force Negation. Pretty pluses to Fairy. I think that's actually probably better. Because they visual like Path to Exile, or they want a company or something like that. Yeah, this seems much better. Alright, works for me. Do I Dead of Winter now for some extra damage? It would be 3 extra damage, and we kill all their stuff. Yeah, I think we just do that. Let's stop being tricky. There's no reason to be tricky here. So kill all their stuff, put them at 2, and we have a counter spell, and a removal spell, and it's a Fairy, and a 7/7. Big Tree Folk. You'll love to see it. Okay. Yeah, Dead of Winter is something fierce. Gonna bring in Dead of Winter. I kind of like Force against them. You know, they have Collected Company, probably have Finale of whatever. It's not like great, but they were gonna shave one for a Dead of Winter, but I don't mind having it in the deck. Spreading Feast is fine also. We don't actually have a ton of ways to remove a Devoted Druid, so they could combo us quickly, in theory, but not really a ton we can do about it, so we have Teferi, we have Unthan Ice, we have Dead of Winter, so we have 9 effective removal spells, with Dead of Winter being a one-sided Wrath of God. Man. I guess we wouldn't keep his hand even with a Forest, but alright. Opponent mulligans also. This hand plays. We're gonna ship the I guess we kinda need the Temple Garden. Alright, we're gonna keep I guess we ship it to Teferi. Teferi's pretty good though. I guess we could ship the Forest. We need white for Temple Garden, for Teferi, and Astrolabe is our blue. And I like keeping both Teferis. I like keeping the 4. Yeah, I think I should have shipped the Forest. Pretty weird, but both on 6 cards here. Okay, that evens things out a little bit. Let's just get ourselves an island. Okay. If they have a good hand here, we're probably in trouble. Duskwatch Recruiter? That's not great. Well, we've certainly drawn out of our land problems. I think we're just going to get this Temple Garden in play this Noble Hierarch. They're a little mana screwed, which is like good and bad because our hand isn't great, so that means they have a lot of spells. So once they draw land, they'll be able to do some stuff. We do get to Teferi and bounce something. Alright, it's going to be the Recruiter. Ice Fang's good too. I can buy that for sure. Having Teferi in play is so comforting. They just can't do any tricky stuff. Boreal Druid? Sure. This feels pretty good. Remember, folks, our extra mana is really good because we have Scrying Sheets. So one of the good things is this deck doesn't flood that much because we can always have Scrying Sheets to use. So Abrupt Decay Teferi, that is phenomenal. Couldn't be better. Sure. I think it's better than casting Ice Fang. We're working it. We're working it here. Our hand's obviously not great, but that's pretty good. Alright, we're definitely attacking with Boreal Druid. I'm just going to start on playing Ice Fang main phase and see what we draw. If we draw like a Tree Folk, we're going to want to cast it immediately, so... yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse. Well, it's like they knew. Well, they were dead. They were really dead. So pretty good hand there. Good mana development. Good Teferis. Sweet. 2-1. All right. Round number 4. Hand is not exciting, but it's certainly fine. Again, Astrolab's great. Perfect mana. Viper on 3. If they're playing creature deck, we have Dead of Winter, our best card against them. On the draw, like, this hand's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. We're seeing new cards of the Astrolab. Another Astrolab. Okay. Not really sure what our opponent's doing here. It's a lot of Vipers. All right. Okay. I think we're just gonna fetch like an Islander or whatever on their end step. I guess we could save. Maybe we should save the fetch for a Scrying Sheets later, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna come up, or probably need to fetch before we Scrying Sheets. This is a okay. This is an artifact deck. I mean, they're gonna go crazy here with thingies. We just get to Dead of Winter anyway, so it's pretty cool. It's definitely interesting. So, do we want to just Viper now and then clean it all up later? I think so. I assume they're playing an Urza deck, so we get to kill the Urza too, in theory, if we wait. I think being greedy is certainly reasonable here. Yeah, it feels good. Nope, Thopter Foundry. Okay. Interesting. I guess they could have Word Invention here, but I think that's fine. I think we just chill. Just attack. They don't really have good blocks. I suppose if they have Whir and Urza, we're dead. We can't really stop it anyway, so. Okay. I'm not sure if we can beat this. I mean, Dead of Winter is obviously pretty good, but just doesn't matter. They have Stopter Sword and 5 mana in play. I guess we're gonna try, but may not be a good matchup for us. So they can make. I mean, why would they do his main phase? All right, so they have another Word Invention. Ugh. All right, well, We cast the Dead of Winter now. They still have 3 blockers. That's bad. That is not good. I mean, this at least forces their hand on Word Invention if they have it. Once again, once Hogak gets banned, we have to open up some sideboard slots. We have to have more things for matchups like this. Not 4 rest in peace, you know? Draw a card? Sure. That seems good to me. I mean, now they can only block one of these. So if we can draw a force negation, maybe? Snakes. Problem is they just have 6 tokens in play. And I don't know if we can beat Thopter Sword. I suppose the Tree Folk could do it. That is large enough and trample-y enough. But as it stands, our board can't currently beat Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meek. Okay, let's start there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, we're gonna attack. They can token. They can kill one of my Vipers here, but I guess it keeps their stuff under control. Just gotta find ourselves a Tree Folk and hope it is good enough. It is really big right now, but we're also just gaining 5 life a turn too, so alright, we're just gonna draw a card right now. Okay, we're gonna draw a card right now. Yeah, let's just draw another card, I guess. I don't think Noble Hierarch matters that much. Maybe we draw Tree Folk, it's going to be really, really big. We're talking 14 trample. 15 trample. Problem is if they find an Urza, we're just dead. Because the Urza combos infinitely with the Thopter Foundry Sword of the Meek combo. Alright, well, there's our Tree Folk. That is a start. Do we Viper again? I guess I want to leave these things in play now because the Tree Folk's just bigger than everything. They have to make 5 more or 6 more tokens. Alright. Tree Folk, my friend, you have some work to do. Suppose the Exalted triggers help out a bit too. We're certainly in a race against time here to I can attack with one of these. I would trade 1 Viper for 3 Thopters. Is that good? I think it's actually fine. Probably should have thought of that beforehand, but I wasn't thinking about it. So we're trading 1 Viper for 3 Thopters, so they have less things to block the Tree Folk. Next turn we're attacking for like 16, 17, 18-ish. The Tree Folk. Is it a trumpet? Sure. Works for me. Oh god, don't Teferi me. Wellspring, sure. Alright, I mean, once again, they just find Urza, which dead. Urza plus Thopter plus Sword is infinite mana, infinite creatures, infinite life, and infinite play your entire deck with the Urza's activated ability, so you're drawing a lot of cards here. Yep, so for those who don't know, Urza gives the ability for all your artifacts tap for blue. So all of these tap for blue. You can tap Sword of the Meek, sacrifice it to Thopter Foundry, get it back again, and then infinite life and creatures. And then Urza has an ability, 5 mana, shuffle your library, exile a top card, and play it for free. So once you have infinite mana, you can just play your entire deck. So that is an infinite combo, unfortunately. And we are dead. I suppose the Urza construct also just beats our Tree Folk eventually. So, yeah, kind of a tough one. Don't know how good this matchup is for us. Doesn't seem great. We do have Stony Silence and Rest in Peace, which are both pretty good. Night of Autumn. Definitely want to cut the at least the Dead of Winters. Spreading Seas are pretty bad too. Our Force Negations don't look great. It's possible this is a Geist matchup, and it's possible it's not a Teferi matchup. On Thin Ice is also just pretty bad. It does kill Sai or Urza, but don't think we want that. Negate seems fine. Question becomes, do we want Geist or not? Marit Lage's Slumber does not seem very good. They can just block it with a Thopter forever. Let's bring in these Geists. At least 2. Mucks up our curve a little bit, but... So Rest in Peace turns off Thopter combo. Also makes their Wellsprings and Chromatic Stars bad, which is nice. Obviously, Stone of Silence is insane. Negate forces... I think I'm happy here. I don't think the 3rd Geist is necessary. It definitely gets a lot better after board. I'm not sure what kind of cards they bring in to get around the Graveyard Hate, but if I want a mana creature, it's like our 3rd Scrying Sheets No Other Lands End. All right, easy mulligan. Mulligan to 5. Alright, well, as far as 5 card hands go, this is a pretty good one. We're going to keep this. We're going to ship a Tree Folk, and now we obviously have redundant Stony Silence, but it's our best card against them by a lot. And if they have a Thoughtseize or an Assassin's Trophy or whatever, they get to kill it. And we just double a Noble Hierarch here. I want to play Stony. And if they can somehow kill my Noble Hierarch on turn 1, that seems highly unlikely. But I also just draw land too, so So we're on 5, they're on 6. It's not bad. All right. Of course, Sai and Urza still battle pretty well, so. Well, that was easy. Let's do that again. Multi 5, turn 2 kill. Snow's powerful, what can I say? Sand's pretty good. We have Force if we absolutely need it. We have a nice clock. Mountain. Interesting. Okay. I think we just Vista here. Once we get Misty, doesn't really matter. Probably get Island, and then get Plains and Stony Silence them. It's not bad either. Geist is a nice clock here too. Let's don't play Psy, please. Alright, that complicates things. Now all of their artifacts at least do something. Suppose we do have Geist plus Noble, so you can at least push through some damage. They have an Urza next turn we're probably going to lose, but really can't do too much about it. Yeah, Sai is really good against Stony Silence. Makes threats. You can sacrifice all the cards you can't use to draw cards. Yeah, we're probably in trouble here. um. Yeah, I mean, leaving up Force Negation, like, you can't even attack. Like, this is gross. We'd be trading Geist for a couple Thopters. I think I start drawing cards here, too. I guess we're just... I mean, leaving up Force Negation doesn't really matter, because now most other scary cards are just creatures. Yeah, we're going to start on Astrolabe, I guess. Alright. That's not bad. I guess it's pretty hard to, like, stick, because they have a bunch of Thopters. Maybe we just... Our Geist not looking too good here, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's just play Noble Hierarch and say go. I mean, we also can pitch to force if we like really, really need to. So we attack here. They just block with Psi, Thopter, and we lose our Geist for very minimal value. If we wait, we're drawing some more Noble Hierarchs or things like that. Unfortunately, we boarded all of our removal, right? Yeah, all of our removal's out except for Teferi. Maybe we should have left in a few on Thin Ices. It's possible Dead of Winter's even. I guess we were bringing Geist at Dead of Winter. That's good. They have Urza too. Ugh. Oh, Tezzeret. Okay. I don't know if we can allow us to resolve. Tezzeret is pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna force this. Teferi's not doing a ton right now anyway, so Not going anywhere for a while. Jeez. I mean, I'm not sure how much removal we're supposed to leave in. I figured Teferi would be enough. They only have like 2 of these usually, but when they draw, it's just so devastating. Wow. Getting aggressive. All right, I think we're just gonna Scrying Sheets. It's just free value compared to the Ice Fang, which we can cast next turn anyway. We have a shuffle here too, so just find a. That's a Force Negation. We don't want that card. So I'll shuffle that away. I guess we're getting a Forest. All right. Do want to find a Tree Folk if possible. There's no white card I can draw off of Scrying Sheets, so I guess we're just gonna cast that because we need to draw a green or blue land to cast the other one too. Ah, well, there you are. There you are. Of course, our Astrolabe is off because of our Stony Silence. I mean, Tree Folk is pretty big right now, so that is definitely our path to victory. Maybe I'd actually just send with Geist here and just trade Geist for 2 Thopters and some damage. I actually kind of like that at this point. I think Geist has outlived its usefulness. I want to keep their Thopter count down so we can get our Tree Folk going. And the extra 4 damage matters a lot too if we're going to race a Tree Folk. So Tree Folk's our path here for sure. They have Wear and Tear? No. Yeah, 5 cards in hand. That's a lot. That is a lot. No Urza, please. Our hopes and dreams rest on the back of this large, abominable creature. Four, two. Okay. We're gonna Ice Fang first. Let's yeah, let's Ice Fang first. That's actually not bad. Just an extra snow permanent. All right, we're gonna smash with one of our Ice Fangs and see if we can trade for 2 Thopters or sneak 2 damage in. And then we're going to Tree Folk the 1/4. I mean, they're letting our Tree Folk get there, it feels like. So this is a big Mamma Jamma. Maybe we actually hold the Boreal Druid to hide the fact that it's bigger than they think it is. I actually kind of like that. I don't think we're in a rush to play Boreal Druid. So I get to draw, what, 2 more cards? Yeah. So this is actually 11, 12, 13, 14. It's actually at 15, 15. And they're at 6. But if they have an Urza, the Urza token battles decently well. Ugh. All that work. Man, we were just losing single-handedly to Sai. We had a Rest in Peace in play too. All of these Chromatic Stars and Wellsprings wouldn't draw any cards either. It's tough. I probably need to make some blocks at this point and just trade these off. We're losing life at a decent rate. All right. So you're telling me there's a chance. I think I want to tap Sai again because it's the most toughness. Just hope they don't have another Fatal Push. So I guess we're trading Ice Fang with 2 Thopters. Noble Hark's so good. It's interesting. All right. No more Fatal Pushes, please. At this point, they've seen half their deck and no Urza. I don't know why I talk, honestly. It's a 7/7. Sword of the Meek. I mean, no, it's a 9/9. Jeez. I probably should let some removal in. That's probably my fault. I mean, if we dealt with this side, we'd have won this game like an hour and a half ago. They can tap these things for mana too. Jeez. Because the ability is Urza's ability. Now that's actually pretty interesting. So they're sacking stuff to Urza. All right, shrinks their token a little bit. Top card, Noble Hierarch. All right, don't really want that. Do we scrying sheets on our upkeep? I think so, because we want 2 shots at a good card. We have no black cards in our deck post board, so I don't think this Boreal Druid's ever attacking. God. We've been pretty bad with these scrying sheets, I'm not gonna lie. We should be batting over 500, and I feel like we're batting like 250. All right. I mean, are we dead? Maybe. They gotta put a lot of toughness in front of this. Like 1 extra snow permanent, you know? So you get to activate Urza. Are they gonna word mention? It's interesting. So they were on their turn, they could get a ensnaring bridge. Yeah, that's a Wellspring. I guess I could have countered that, but I don't think we need to. All right, they're at 2. They don't have an attack force able to kill us. They have 4 cards in hand. God. All right. I mean, I guess Sword of the Meek plus Sai is pretty cute. They keep sacrificing it, getting it back. So, I mean, we're attacking for a lot next turn. We'll see what happens, I suppose. They're going to rely on like Ensnaring Bridge. I think that's pretty cool for us because we have Force Negation. So if they want to whir or just cast Bridge, we might get this one. Another Urza. Oh, can't stop that. Urza makes a 8/8. We just draw like another Tree Folk or Teferi. We're going to upkeep Scry again. Let's scry whatever scrying sheets. Oh, we knew what it was. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm an idiot. I forgot. We actually just can't hit. It's actually unbelievable. It's 10, 11, 12, 13. Onboard trick. Onboard trick. You'll love to see it. How about 14 instead? All right, your turn. They have drawn such an absurd amount of cards this game that I feel like I guess we have this force negation, so a lot of things we would possibly lose to are covered. All right, here we go. They have 6 cards in hand. Sack them both. Thopter Foundry. Sword of the Meek. Sack them and draw some cards. I mean, I don't think another Urza stops my Tree Folk here. They tap their black, too. That's pretty weird. They only have 1 Fatal Push in their deck. Maybe we have Force now, too, so feeling pretty safe here. Like, I don't know what stops the Tree Folk that doesn't get forced. They are drawing a large portion of their deck here, but they have 6 cards in hand. They don't have infinite mana, but they have a lot of mana with their Urza and the random crap they play. Draw some cards. 3 mana left over. Still no answer in sight. Cast Sword of the Meek, sure. I think we're good, folks. I think the Tree Folk is just too much to overcome. At this point, I'm not sure what they're drawing to. I mean, even another Urza, like, I don't think that's enough. I guess they have the Sai and the Urza for 8 more toughness. All right, you have 8 cards in hand. What do you got for me? One white. Get Where on the Stony Silence? They may fall asleep before whatever their payoff is comes. I like how we played this game so far. I like that we chipped in some points of damage with our Geist and our Ice Fang. Despite the fact that Sai has literally drawn them 30 cards and made them probably 40 tokens. We still doing okay. Counter Vis because they can infinite combo us if we don't. Alright, sweet. Snow too strong. Tree Folk goes all the way. 3-1. Alright, round 5. We have another It Could Be Anything hand with 2 cantrips. We have a Scrying Sheets and mana. They mulligan to 6. We're on the draw. I kind of want to keep again. If there's no Scrying Sheets, I would mulligan. But I think that we have Draw Step, Cantrip, Draw Step, Cantrip. It's 4 new cards. Perfect mana. Slow them down. They mulligan to 6. You have Scrying Sheets. I'm going to keep. I have talked myself into it. They've mulliganed to 6. And they're Street Wraithing. That's a little scary. Oh, Copperline Gorge. Faithless Looting. Oh my god, what's going on? Vengevine, Flameblade Adept, Hollow One. Well, I guess I regret my choice. My choice to keep. Did not think that they would be putting 4 power in play on turn 1 and possibly attacking for 8 on turn 2 on their mulligan to 6. So maybe I am a dum-dum. Oh god. I don't know how you play Vengevine without Hogak. Are you gonna Bushwhacker me too? Please Bushwhacker me too. If you're gonna kill me, just do it the right way. Oh. Alright, well, we're dead. I mean, we're attacking for 8 on turn 2 on the play on their mulligan to 6. I did not expect that. And we're dead. Actually, we're not dead anymore. We're basically dead, though. Ice Fang blocks, Hollow One. We take 8, go to 4, and then we can't stop the next wave. Yeah, alright, let's concede. Alright, you win, opponent. You win. This should be okay for us. All of our Death Touchers and stuff. We're going to want Rest in Peace. They're probably going to be boarding out some of their graveyard stuff, but it's still a thing we have to do, probably. Rest in Peace, Dead Winter. I think we're not interested in Force Negation or Spreading Seas. Like, Force is going to counter Looting or Burning Inquiry. It doesn't seem very good. And then I actually don't mind these Night of Autumns. Maybe Night's better than Teferi Time Raveler. I guess Teferi in the play is fine, but... Excuse me. I mean, Night seems good. Night also kills the 4/4 FDK style. Yeah, let's go to Teferi. This seems fun. 4 Rest in Peace might be 1 too many if they are boarding out some of their graveyard stuff, but yeah, maybe I should have cut 1 Rest in Peace and put the Teferi back in. So they're clearly a deck that can, they're not all in on the graveyard, but it's not great, but it's fine. We're gonna keep. So I guess they think we're a Thopter Sword deck. It's pretty dope. Temple Garden, lol. I guess we shouldn't have Temple Garden because our Ice Fang won't have haste fast and won't have Death Touch fast enough. If dual lands are so bad in this deck, I think they're a necessity, especially in post board games. You need to have your colors early, but double Vengevine, come on. Suppose there is some justice in the world. Play 4 of them for a reason. Flameblade Adept. Okay. We could just like Knight here to put an extra body in play. We can block this thing. And gain some life. We could just Ice Fang too, honestly. Can't block, but and then we're gonna tree folk next turn anyway, so yeah, I think Ice Fang is. I guess if I'm an Ice Fang, I should main phase it because I want if I could draw a 1-drop. Let's get a Forest. Oh, that was bad. I should have the Temple Garden. If I draw a Astrolabe here, that's even better, I suppose. I guess I'm really, really lucky. Better lucky than good. This is a shellacking. That's cute, I suppose. Definitely a question of what are they going to go after here. My On Thin Ice or the Rest in Peace. Probably the On Thin Ice. Alright. Just going to slam jam a big boom boom here. Not using Cindervines. Interesting. Alright, sure. They almost had a really busted draw, but our draw step was too lucky. So is Teferi Time Raveler better than the 4th Rest in Peace? Maybe not. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave all 4 Rest in Peace in. It's funny, a Rest in Peace could like not be good enough on the draw, but I don't think we can have Force Negation because we're down on blue cards too much. So like forcing, I guess if they're not playing like Supplier and stuff, if they're just red green, then all their cards that get things in the graveyard are Looting, Burning Inquiry, things like that. So maybe Force is actually like okay, but I don't know what I would cut, and I'd probably want to cut blue cards, making Force a little too hard to cast. I only have 12 blue cards in our deck right now. You know, the blue card count is definitely just on the edge in the main deck. Once these Spreading Seas come out, it's not really great anymore. Yeah, we're gonna play it like this. They have a busted draw. We're probably gonna die, unfortunately, but it's just kind of life. It is weird they are playing a Vengevine deck with what looks like no Hogax. Alright. This is a weird one. So they mulligan to 6. We can't cast any of our spells. Oh, Boreal Druid. I mean, we have a Temple Garden and a Hallowed Fountain. So we can get our Temple Garden. We're on the draw. We can activate Scrying Sheets if we miss. And Dead of Winter is also pretty good. I think I'm going to keep. Maybe not. They could have like Lightning Axe or something too. If they had kept 7, I probably would have mulliganed, but them mulling to 6 and ultimately 5 makes things feel a little better. Flamewake, Copperline Gorge, I can buy that. Okay. So I think we still fetch Shock, because if we draw a land that can cast Teferi, we can turn 2 of it Teferi. Although Shocking does make our Tree Folk worse, as well as our Time Raveler, but I think we need the colors here. If we draw Vista, we're gonna get black anyway, so alright. I guess this might be bad now, because now we're turning off Tree Folk. If we don't draw blue. Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. Mana's certainly a little weird. Vengevine? Alright. Well, that's super awkward. Because we're not putting a lot of snow permanents in play. I think we're still doing it, but also Shocking too. It's possible we're just minusing and drawing a card too. It's kind of gross, but they have to attack it. It's actually pretty good for us, I think. Just buys us a lot of time. Like I said, you definitely don't want to have your dual lands, and we have both of them. We just naturally drew Hallowed Fountain instead of like a Misty Rainforest or something, but it makes things really awkward. Looks like things are awkward from both sides here, though, so... Flashback Looting, yeah. It's like, we can play Tree Folk, but it's only a 3/3. Which is like, not, bad. It'd be bigger the following turn, but... Discard Hollow One? Interesting. It's pretty good. I think we just Tree Folk. Just the best use of our mana this turn. It's obviously not awesome, but we are playing Snow Permanent next turn, and a Noble Hierarch probably. Definitely both our decks not exactly firing on all cylinders here. Alright, so they're gonna get this Vengevine back, which is fine. We have Dead of Winter to mop up if we draw black. We have Ice Fang to block. We've got some stuff going on here. They cast a Vengevine here, things get a little ugly. It's a lot of damage. Wow, Flashback Looting. Yeah, their hand's been pretty bad. Discard Flamewake Phoenix. Alright, that's pretty good. I do have 2 Phoenixes in the graveyard too, so... This is pretty interesting. I really don't want those Phoenixes to come back. I could just trade here, and then just Teferi bounce Hollow One. Maybe we're so far ahead that's where we're at. I'd obviously like the Tree Folk in play, but they're not recurring this Vengevine forever. Yeah, we're going to do that. We have infinite card advantage here. We're way ahead on cards. Let's not let them get both these Phoenixes in play and cheese us out. Astrolab's pretty good. That's actually really good. Now we can just cast Dead of Winter. Alright, so that makes our block look kind of dumb, but... 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Alright. Let's Labski. Hold on. Let's tap this colorless source first. That's pretty good too. Yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse here. All right. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 snow permanents. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And now I've got Active Teferi, we got Tree Folk, we have Ice Fang. We're just cooking with gas. If you're like hooting Mandrills this turn, maybe that would be enough to get things rolling, but I would say this game's pretty over. Vista. I think we're just gonna bounce our Astrolab, play Tree Folk, play Ice Fang. Damn. That's a lot of folks. Swamp. That's a big boy. Blue, green. Perfect. Yeah, this game's definitely over. I mean, these red-green Vengevine decks, it's pretty old school, like Hollow 1 Vengevine deck. This is like a deck from like 2 years ago. They were always pretty inconsistent. They're still playing. They're still trucking along. Oops. Four, 8. I mean, I don't know what they could possibly do to us here. I guess I gotta sack the Vista. Like I said, I played this pre-con. It doesn't even matter what we do. Whatever. You're just dead. I could have dealt more damage with my Tree Folk by playing these things pre-combat, but whatever. Don't think there's a red green Wrath of God that's gonna kill 2 9/9s. Yeah, sweet. It's a little scary there. A little scary. Their opener in game 1 was pretty good, but a little lucky in game 2, drawing that Rest in Peace. And game 3, their deck fumbled around as it is wont to do. What are these? Oh. Some chesties. All right, so yeah, I think it's actually really sweet. We lost Eldrazi Tron in some pretty awkward games. Obviously, Hogak is a pain in the ass, and that needs to go away. But when it does, which it's going to for sure, we get to clean up our sideboard a bit, play less Rest in Pieces, and the format will probably get a little more fair. And this deck grinds pretty well, honestly. Ice Fang, Teferi, Oran Viper, Tree Folk, Force Indication's great. The deck's a lot of fun. Scrying Sheets is really cool too. Definitely a super fun, super competitive deck that may be a deck going forward. We'll see. Again, we're sort of in limbo right now. You saw my article yesterday on on Friday on CoolStuffInc.com. Talked about how both formats are kind of in limbo right now. Standard is kind of like pre-rotation. People don't necessarily want to play or buy into a deck. It's going to rotate soon. And then Modern, we're just in purgatory of waiting for Hogak to get banned. So this is definitely a fun deck, and one that hopefully will be pretty cool once Hogak gets banned. Deck's a lot of fun. A lot of fun cards. A lot of cool stuff happening here. Give it a shot if you are so inclined. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it very, very much. This is Jim Davis for CoolStuffInc.com as usual. You can always find my videos on Monday on CoolStuffInc.com, as well as my written articles on Friday. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hop on over to CoolStuffInc.com proper. There's a companion article to this video. That's right. Written words by me about this deck. You're not going to want to miss it. I go over some things in a little more depth, and there's always a written article for all of these cool stuff videos. So make sure you go to CoolStuffInc.com proper. Check that out. And of course, all your shopping needs, CoolStuffInc.com has you. They've been in the biz for like 20 years. Card games, board games, miniatures, you name it, Magic singles, it's all there. And also, I have a new token coming out, which is pretty cool. It's a Goblin token. The art on it is phenomenal. and you get a free token if you order pre-order of your new Commander stuff, which is really, really cool. And you can use promo code Jim5 for 5% off your order. Just too much cool stuff happening. Thanks so much. I'll see you guys next week. And they said snow.